Hey Scorpio, this is your home light security reading for the month of August for all Scorpio signs. And I am feeling irritated. Like, I'm feeling like you guys are irritated in general. Like, just frustrated and not comfortable in your skin. And unless it's just me, but that's what I'm feeling for you guys. But this is because there's a major transformational energy going on. And I feel like it's asking you to step out of your own way. It really is to step out of your own way. And it has to do with the South Node being in your sign. Because it's got a lot of good things coming, but I feel like impatience, I guess. And that's what I feel like I'm getting for you all is some impatience. Like, can you just make it now already, for crying out loud? But I mean, what I'm pulling in cards is showing really actually good things for you. I mean, the first card out for me, this specific card is you create your own reality, period. You create your own reality. Remember that at all times. You have the ability to do any and everything you want, so create your own reality. Then what's coming next is the moon, which means your emotional energy may be a little bit too much on point or maybe driving you, because this is redemption of the fallen spark. I do a lot of mine from like a Hebrew aspect when I do the tarot. And the moon is redemption of the fallen spark. It is it's resurrection in a form. It is coming and breathing life back into pieces that feels like it's empty or lost. And I guess maybe that's the irritation I'm feeling, is the moon's movement, the moon's awkwardness. And that's where you get with the Hebrew, the redemption of the fallen spark, which is breathing the spark back into you, finding the spark again, resurrection of who and what you are, finding your character again by realizing you create your own reality and putting yourself back in balance. The next thing that was coming out is the 8 of Cups, which is happiness, getting everything you want. So, I mean, this technically is looking like it's great. Then it's going into the Lovers. And I really feel like this is not, it could be a love situation, but I feel like with the way that the cards are and the way I'm feeling it, astrology that I see, I feel like this is coming back to self, coming like through, you know, the dark night of soul, coming through a dark night of soul, coming through the hollow bone, coming through and finding yourself again, starting to love yourself again, starting to accept and see yourself again. So it could be a new relationship coming in, but like I said, either way, it's happiness is coming. But I feel like there's a possibility that you could be somewhat of in your own way if you emotionally allow yourself to go that route. Is there anything else here that I have for Scorpio, or that you all have for Scorpio? The Empress. This is just being, the way I see the Empress is, this is being you, being in your power, in charge, sitting on your throne, taking your power back, and not allowing yourself to emotionally be driven in a way that might not be satisfactory to you. Yeah, taking the steps, the new beginnings. This is all very good for you. I just feel like it's a transformational place where you may be feeling uncomfortable, you know, a little irritated as you're starting to walk through it, but I feel like overall it's a very good thing. You may be walking through it for the whole month before you truly feel it, but That's what I'm getting. Now, let me tell you what's going on with the planetary movement, and then we'll get into the astrology. You have the Lion's Gate this month, which may be steering up your energy a lot. You have a lot of stuff going on in your outer world. It is touching base on some of your inner securities or inner depths, more private areas, but it's mainly taking place in the outer world. You have the Lion's Gate that takes place on the 8th, but that energy won't just end on the 8th, and it's already open. Now you have the full moon, which is coming in on the 11th, just a few days after. The full moon is taking place in Aquarius, and this is more or less in opposition of that Lion's Gate. Now, on the same day as the full moon, you have Venus moving into Leo, which is going to bring that energy that you're still feeling from the Lion's Gate even more sensitive, kind of revving it up even a little bit more. Now, Mars is going to be moving into Gemini on the 20th. The Sun enters Virgo on the 22nd. Uranus is going into retrograde on the 24th. This is a big deal, okay, because when we look at your chart, I'll be able to explain better, but it is definitely going into retrograde on the 24th, which means it's already in shadow for the whole month. Then you have Mercury, which is entering communication, is entering into Libra on the 25th, and you have the new moon on the 27th taking place in Virgo. The way that this energy is going this year is very much go, 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 like you're not getting a chance for a break. It is ebb and flow. Please watch your speed. Watch your, give yourself the proper respect and love and pampering and downtime you need, because it feels like it's a long going situation that's really just feel like it's dragging out and adding more and more onto it. However, it is definitely catapulting everything for the next 6 months. Now, with that being said, let's take a good look at your chart. All right. I always start where the sun is because that's technically the house that you're walking through. Now, for you, this is your 10th and 11th house. This is your outer world. Leo is where the sun is right now. And the thing is, Leo's the sun's not alone in Leo. It has Ceres here. Ceres is, not Sirius Star, Ceres is the threefold. It is also speaking to you about what you are nurturing or what you are neglecting. And it is speaking to you about that 10th house. And this is the authority of the outer world. This is our working environment. It is our honor, our reputation, our prestige, how we're viewed from the outer authority and how the world outside views us. But it's also in a form, our financial situation, our financial standings. It is also the relationships that you have in that outer world. It is the foundation that's setting those relationships. And then as you move into the 11th house, it is the actual committees, groups, and memberships that you are part of, and that helps strengthen your goals, dreams, and ambitions, or it takes from them. So when we're looking at the 10th and the 11th house, because the 11th house is where you're going to have the new moon at the end of the month. So it's going to kind of flow from one into the other. And it is that outer world going, what is being nurtured properly? What is being neglected? It is putting limelight on the authority and the outer world, the structure of that outer world. And if it is nurturing or being neglected, about helping you come into your own personal authority, into having the authority of your own life, plus being able to structure yourself properly with a good foundation of people that you're in sync with, that will support your goals, dreams, and ambitions, help you strengthen and grow those goals, dreams, and ambitions. Now, midway through here, not even midway, on the 11th, you have Venus moving into Leo, that outer authority. This is going to bring more sensitivity in. So it's about to get more sensitivity. And Venus is not love. I can't say enough times. Venus will tell you when something is good for you. She will help you communicate with charm what you want and what you need. Venus knows how to get what she wants. She knows how to love and tweak her way into that. But Venus also is all about what is uncomfortable. She teaches you about your sensitivity, whether it is positive or negative, whether you've been lied to and betrayed, whether you've been supported or not. Venus is the one that is teaching you about that sensitivity and if it is working for you or working against you. And so in a form, she's teaching you about your intuitive trusting of that sensitivity. And this is the outer world. This is your honor, your reputation, your prestige. This is how you make your money. It is your job. It is the duties that you're responsible for, the authority of the outer world. And if you are having any of that authority, the sensitivity is going to be coming in, tweaking where it's not or where it is being nurtured or neglected, and where you need to tweak these areas, as well as it moves towards the new moon at the end of the month, it's going to start shaping it more directly into the groups, memberships, and committees that you are part of. And are these committees, groups, memberships, are they supporting those goals, dreams, and ambitions? Or are they there, but not necessarily supporting? Are you not on the same wavelength, or are you on the same wavelength? Are you in the same vibration? Is it something that's working and strengthening and setting a foundation that will help grow and continue to move forward and help you get into the authority of your own power and building your dreams, goals, and ambitions? Or is it showing you where it may be actually taking from it? And then adjustments need to be made. You're going to be noticing this through the Lion's Gate, through that full moon, and all the way around to the new moon this month, according to what you need to address within the relationships, the groups, committees, and memberships that you are part of, as to if it's supporting or not, and what needs to be done. Now, when I explain it like that, I'm going to go right after the Lion's Gate. Your fourth house is where the full moon is going to take place. And I'm jumping across because of the full moon, because of the way this flow is going. The full moon is going to be taking place in Aquarius, your inner emotional security, the roots of who and what you are, and strengthening if you are secure within your own inner emotional security, your own self, your own skin, your own feelings. Might be why I was feeling that way in the beginning, because Saturn is here. The full moon is going to be coming in directly in opposition of that Lion's Gate, like 3 days after, with Saturn and the moon getting into your emotions, getting into the ebb and flow of your sensitivity, of your inner emotional security, the roots of who and what you are, your home as well as your home. And the soulfulness versus the three-dimensional, and how secure do you feel according to what the outer world is doing in your life, the authority and how it's pushing on you. And are you receptive, or are you pushing back? Do you feel manipulated, or are you feeling like you don't have a choice? I mean, or do you feel like you're in your dignified energy and liberated and feeling secure? This is all part of the energy you're seeing as we move through this month. It is definitely speaking about the outer world. How are you structuring yourself for your goals, dreams, and ambitions, versus emotionally, how are you feeling? And then bringing it back to the outer world and strengthening yourself to be strong. Long story short, that's pretty much what you're going to be feeling throughout the whole month. And it's going to be asking you to address the communication in your outer world and those groups and memberships that you are part of. Yeah. So is the communication healthy? Is the communication very upfront and honest and bold? Is it critiquing where it needs to? Are you fine-tuning and actually speaking exactly what needs to be spoken in order for when it comes full circle to that new moon at the end of the month to be able to support those goals, dreams, and ambitions? This is what the whole month is going to be showing you. And are you nurturing it properly? Now, your first house still has the South Node here, and it'll still be here till mid, I think pretty much at the end of the year. And the South Node in your first house is saying right off the bat, there's transformation in your character that is supposed to be happening. So this is asking you to get out of your comfort zone because there's self-sabotage in part of that character. And I don't mean to put anybody down, but with the South Node being in a sign, the South Node means it's everything you're really good at. You've gotten really good at that specific idea, but it doesn't serve you anymore. You outgrew it. So there's part of your character, part of how you identify with the world, part of how you view the world, as well as yourself, that there's more. There's a bigger transformation here. There's more to see. And are you giving yourself the opportunity to explore this part of your character, this part of your identity, this part of how you view the world? Are you giving yourself the opportunity to see that bigger picture of yourself and how you can view? Because it will ultimately be helping you grow. Especially with the South Node being here right now. It's saying, I'm very comfortable with who I am. I don't want to grow. And that's why it's asking you to grow. Now, your third house isn't any different. You've had Pluto here for quite a while. It still has another year and a half. But this is saying with Pluto, it's death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. So this is saying in your communication house, there's more opportunities to communicate, new ways of communicating, or hearing and understanding, perceiving how to communicate on the three-dimensional world with yourself, outwardly as well as on a spiritual level, because the communication also has to do with how you communicate with your guides, your angels, so to speak, on that spiritual level. But it's the way you go about doing it. Death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. So there's more to learn here. There's more opportunities to explore larger avenues of how to psychically communicate, spiritually communicate, truthfully communicate with yourself on a three-dimensional level. And then, of course, within that lessons that you're learning of your own character, your own growth, it gives you the opportunity to actually speak that outwardly as well. So that's a good thing. It's just lessons to help you grow into even more of your authentic self. Now, your fourth house, which we've already discussed, is where you're going to have the full moon on the 11th, which is taking place directly across from those committees and those groups and those memberships and that outer world and the authority. And it's asking you again to acknowledge where things do need to be shifted, where the foundation here will help strengthen your inner emotional security and the roots of who and what you are and the soulful energy of your own security, tapping into yourself, your own roots, by maybe adjusting a little, adjusting some of what's making you not comfortable, or maybe by tapping into some of that uncomfortability to get out of your comfort zone. Because I don't see Saturn in Aquarius as afraid to try things. I see it as being willing to try new things and try new boundaries and adjust accordingly, because Aquarius is a higher understanding of more than what we perceive. So when you're putting Saturn here, it's giving it new opportunities to trust in your inner emotional security by tapping into it a little bit more. Now, sorry, picture disappeared. Your 5th house is your creative house. Now, there's not too much difference going on here. You have Neptune here, and it's been here for a long time. Neptune's in retrograde right now, which is just giving you more opportunities to be more creative, to try more things. And Neptune is your magic. He's the magic of the soul, the ability to rebirth over and over again and try new things, and the magic of being able to. But it's also in the universal 12th house. So there's some unconscious ability that you need to try to tap into. Some of your unconscious, which is swept underneath the carpet. Some of the grief, sorrow, shame, blame, and the self-sabotage of where we keep ourselves from growing. This is saying there's more magic here. There's more opportunity here. There's more creativity here. There's more pursuits of pleasure, fun, and enjoyment and trying of new things if you're willing to try. There's more here to unfold, more presents to open. But you have to be willing. Now, with it being in retrograde, it is magic. So if you don't tap in, then you just don't receive anything. But here's where the kicker starts. When you get into your 6th house, which is Aries, this is where things are about to start taking a change. Okay, your 6th house is Aries, which technically is the head. It's the brain and how the brain works. But it's the 6th house, which is your daily routines, your daily mundane tasks. And there's nothing mundane about the mundane. It's simply that it's such a repetitive thing. We do it all the time. We overlook it. We don't realize how much it has to do with our manifestation, how much it has to do with our magic. Well, Aries energy is a brand new beginning, a brand new start, a brand new idea. And it is for you the mundane. Being willing to try new things, to add new mundane routines that are actually more supportive for you. But the problem here is everything in Aries is in retrograde. You have Eris, trouble, toil, and strife in this mundane energy. You have Chiron, the wounded healer, in this mundane energy. And you have Jupiter in this mundane energy. And I say it this way because I'm wanting you to let it sink in. It's your daily routines. It's your daily people, places, and things. It's your daily activities. What you do on a daily basis without any thought. And the people that are part of your daily activity without any thought. It's going to be tapping into the mindscape, the mind thinking, because it's Aries energy with Eris, trouble, toil, strife, and injustice. And your daily activity may be a little bit more of, well, you know, if that wasn't that way, and if this wasn't this way, and having a little bit of a bad attitude, grief, trouble, toil, strife, injustice. If you're picking and looking for the negatives, you'll find them. If you're yearning for the bitching and moaning of the negatives of your daily routines, you'll find them and start manifesting it for the next 6 months really freaking fast. Because trouble, toil, strife, injustice is in retrograde in the mind thinking of your daily routines, bitching and moaning about this or that because it's standing in the way, it's causing a problem, it's whatever the excuse may be. Then we'll hit your Chiron, the wounded healer, going, okay, so I'm on board with that. That's why we can't start a new cycle. And then it leaves Jupiter no choice but to abundantly deliver it. So it's important for you to train your brain. It's important for you to keep your thinking process out of that Eris, trouble, toil, strife, Keep yourself out of that lower vibrational mind thinking of your daily routines and your people, places, and things. If you're not in sync, then just get away from it. Don't continue to be part of it because it'll tear you down. And Jupiter will retrograde back into your 5th house, your creative house, allowing it to create even more of an issue come November if your mind is in that thinking process, because it'll have been filled with that other energy. So this is saying you don't want to hold on to the trouble, toil, strife. I was using a couple months ago, and they're giving it to me now, that there's that Amazon Prime commercial where Medusa is wearing some sunglasses, and everybody knows the story of Medusa. Everything Medusa stares at turns into stone. Once she sees it, it turns into stone. But according to the idea here of the commercial, she had found these glasses. She found a way to change the magic. She found a way to break the spell. I can leave my glasses on and I won't turn you to stone. I'm able to create my own magic. Now, if I want to take my glasses off and turn you into stone, so be it. But she had the authority there. She had the choice, the opportunity there. And this is what they're saying, what my guides are giving me by telling you to train your brain. Don't allow that Medusa, that Eris, trouble, toil, strife, in your daily routines to become such a venomous energy that it actually takes your vibration down. Make sure that you're conscious to this thinking. Now, see, when it moves into the 7th house, this is equally just as important, because in the 7th house is where you have Uranus, and Uranus is in shadow. It will go retrograde at the end of the month. This is independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. This is standing in your power in these relationships by being unique, by being your own individual, by showing your own individuality in these relationships and feeling secure about who you are. But that is going into retrograde. Right now it's in shadow. So it may be making you start to question your own authority, question your own individuality and self-security in these relationships. And all it's meant to do is help you see where you're not living up to the picture, where you're not living up to showing that true authority, true individuality, true authenticness in these relationships. This is saying don't be submissive. Allow yourself to flow. Allow yourself to show this, but make sure that you're not letting that negative thinking tear you down. Because Uranus is going to be retrograde all the rest of this year. So it's making sure you're training your brain so that you are making the growth you want to see come into fruition. Now, your 8th house is going to have Mars moving in after the 20th. So a little later, as we get closer to the new moon, and we're getting closer to that resetting of that new energy, the new beginnings, the new directing from that new moon's energy. This is your, what did I say? It was the 8th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, your 8th house. This is where Mars will be moving in on top of Athena, the warrior goddess, strategic thinking, into setting new foundations to help strengthen the relationships that you are part of and tweaking them so that they are supporting you. Because Mars is passion, action, aggression. It is your warrior. But he's also giving you the opportunity to try new things, to adjust, be curious and try it. And then, be able to allow the relationships to grow because you did tweak it, or at least, if not, acknowledge where Mars needs to be the warrior and boot people out. It's that simple. Now, your 9th house, this is where you definitely are needing to step into your spirituality. See, because Lilith is here right now. Lilith is not very strong in Cancer. Lilith normally is very independent, very standing in your fire. What are you here for? What do you burn for? But see, Cancer energy is nurturing and mothering and coveting. You know, like want to hold on to, I love you a little too much. And here, Lilith is more submissive. And this is not what you want to be, submissive into just falling for what everybody else teaches you about a spirituality. This is about trusting in your own spirituality, in your own growth, in your own communication, and testing it, trying it, growing in it, in your higher learning, your spirituality, your psychic ability, your intuitiveness, your gut feeling. This is not getting thrown off and being submissive and just listening to what others have to say. Because with Lilith being here, this is one time where that submissive energy is not going to work for you. This is one time where this is begging you to apply your own psychic energy, to apply your own spirituality, to apply your own depths and your own communication with that other sign, and try it and test it and explore, because this is about you independently growing in your own soul self. But if you're submissive and you listen to everybody else's ideas right now, you'll miss the point. I love you guys. Bye.